sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Saturday, December the 8th, 2018, talking outdoors for the next 90 minutes. And this is second Saturday, which is the regular time for Ron Wong is here with Santa Claus over there with him.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Ron.
A nice little rainy Saturday morning, but it's all good.
Yeah, coming off that big Saturday of last week with the St. Jude Marathon with 26,000 people here. The streets were empty.
That's awesome.
Streets were empty coming here, I tell you what. But big event going on right now this weekend down at Arca-Butler Lake. And, of course, Ron knows this from being down there many times. And what a grand event is the Arca-Butler Lake Physically Challenged Deer Hunt.
Hope to get there Sunday or Monday to shoot some pictures.
Great.
LROutdoors.com.
All right. Well, we know that on the line right now we're trying to get Ernie Lentz, but Ernie's busy on this Saturday morning. And we got a gentleman on the line with us that really has played a part in helping this event in its many years, over 20 years. And we hope that Ernie will come in. But our good friend Frank Barton is on with us now. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everybody.
And, Frank, I know that this event is special to you. I know that you were down there opening day, and there's 29 hunters at right below the Arca-Butler Lake Dam where they have no hunting allowed except during this time, and had a great picture of opening of the time. And what makes this event special to you, Frank?
Well, I can remember reading about this event 28 years ago when it first started.
I probably wrote it.
This is the 28th anniversary of it. But when it first started, I can remember reading about it in the Commercial Appeal newspaper.
Yeah.
And thinking, what a neat, special thing that the rangers at for Arca-Butler Reservoir for the Corps of Engineers have put together, that's a managed hunt for physically challenged people. And if you think about it, it's more than just a wheelchair hunt. A lot of people call it a wheelchair hunt, and I probably was certainly called it a wheelchair hunt. But they are, while the majority of folks are in wheelchairs, some of them have got some mobility, although they can't. They really can't walk very far.
No.
And they can't. It's very difficult for them to participate in something that we all take for granted, that are sports enthusiasts in the Mid-South, and that's deer hunting. Everything is catered for these people. They have the cooking area. There are volunteers that get up very early to start cooking breakfast for these folks, because we get out much earlier than normal hunters do, because it takes a lot longer to put everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do take some of your equipment down there, so to speak, and allow them to use.
That's how I got hooked into it initially. I was sending units down there, sending utility vehicles down, and letting the rangers use them to take people out there to their stands that were constructed out in the field. And then I started coming down and doing that myself, and I sort of got hooked into it, and it's something that I look forward to. My father-in-law, when he was alive, was a quadriplegic and had been a quadriplegic for the majority of his life.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
I had, there was certainly some empathy that I had, and experience firsthand with him. But I enjoy going out with these folks. I see the same people year in and year out. Sometimes they don't make it from one year to the next. They do die, and they don't normally have as long a lifespan as we would normally have. And then there are new ones that come in. Some of them are wounded warriors that have come back in from, the Persian Gulf conflicts or Afghanistan. And it's really neat talking to them and watching them have a bit of normalcy in their life.
Well, let's just bring Ron in right now on that, because I know we're all patriotic, but Ron is really patriotic, and he sees, when he goes down there and sees these guys that have given their all to be what we take for granted.
Absolutely, and like Frank was talking about, you go out there one time, and you say, "Wow, it is somewhat overwhelming in terms of what these guys go through," and this, as Frank said, a little bit of normalcy in their life and a chance to get away from everything else, because it's kind of like getting out on the water. Getting in the woods can soothe the soul.
Well,
and it does so much good for them. And I want to ask right now,
right where I'm at,
and I want to ask all of you listeners out there. They sure can use some volunteers out there. And for you deer hunters out there, they can sure use your help in the afternoons to help skin these deer, because that's one of the things that they try to do for all of these wonderful hunters that are out there, is to clean their deer for them, butcher it up so that they can take it home with them. They sure can use some volunteers out there, and so if you're able, we hope that you can go out there and help. And it's not very far from Memphis, half hour, 40 minutes, and you're there, and it's so wonderful. If it's cold, that's okay. They've got a bonfire that they build there, and they keep it lit the whole time. It's like, what, Frank, 6 feet by 10 feet long.
Well, we got Ernie Lentz. We've worked him in. Ernie, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm sorry. I was trying to get to where I could get a signal for y'all.
That's okay. Well, Frank Barton is on the line, and you just heard Ron Wong talking about it, and Frank's a big supporter of this. For our listeners out there, you kicked off on Thursday, this being Saturday. So it is how many days hunt?
It's 4 days. Each group of guys gets to hunt 2 days. And so this is the start of the second group. And so it's been a good hunt. And like Ron was talking about, we always need folks to skin deer and stuff, because sometimes we guys get tired pulling on that hide.
Well, I know that. And again, we've got him on the line now, Ernie Lentz. He's the land use program manager at Aquabut Lake. And Frank had just mentioned 28 years. Is that right, Ernie? Is that right?
Yes, sir. This is the 28th.
That's amazing.
28th year.
And you got 29 participants. Is that pretty close?
Well, that's how many went out today.
All right.
And I think I had, let me see, applications came back. I think I had 54 applications come back,
wow.
Which is down.
Yeah, but it's still amazing what you guys do. And as Ron talked about, volunteers. And how about Frank Barton? He's been pretty good to you, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been a big help. I mean, we just couldn't do it without him, and he comes through for us every year. So we're much appreciative.
Well, there you hear there, Frank. You know that this has touched your heart, and has touched Ron's, has touched mine. And Frank was talking about reading a story 28 years ago in the paper. I'm sure I wrote it because late Dean Hunter, and this thing has started out, and all you guys and have served these people over the years. And now you're hunting in an area that's not hunted the rest of the time, right?
That's correct. It's the 1,000-acre natural area below Arcabutla Dam. This is where we have our nature trails and everything. So
it's a management hunt. It's a management hunt. Yeah, right? It's a management hunt.
It's a management hunt. It's, for us, for the Corps, we need to remove the deer in order to maintain a healthy herd. That's why we're doing it, is because we want to keep a healthy herd. And with all the news about the chronic wasting disease popping up around, that makes this crucial to keep a healthy herd. So it's a management tool for us, but it's an opportunity for these guys that a lot of times we take for granted. I mean, to get up and just go to the woods doesn't take a whole lot of effort for me, but for most of these guys, it's a major ordeal.
And it's also a reunion each year. I know that we only got a couple of minutes here, Ernie, and I'd like to maybe talk to you on next week's show, to get a kind of report on how things went, if that's possible.
Yes, sir. I'd be glad to.
I'll get back with you because it's something that Frank started early Thursday morning. I know Ron has been down there many times. I used to go before I became decrepit and old, and I thought, well,
you need to come on.
I really need
That's
to.
Right.
I'm going to be part of the group here before long. I can tell you that. If I do, I know where I can get me an ATV, and I know where I can get me a guy to cook my venison for me. I mean, they're on the line right now with Ron and Frank, but appreciate.
I can try to get you a shot at one.
Oh man, well now you really got me, because I done shot and missed 2 this year, so maybe those guys. But I got great memories of it. Appreciate you, Ernie. No, we didn't get you getting that signal, but folks, we're going to talk to Ernie Lentz next week on the show and get an idea of how the hunt went. But like Ron said, volunteers, you couldn't do without this, could you, Ernie?
No, sir, not at all. And
it's okay if people show up in the afternoon and say, I'd like to help. Is that right?
Most definitely.
All right, you heard that, folks. I know in the weather, Ernie, how do you bring this weather every time? I mean, it rains and it's but I'm not going to complain all weekend about the rain. I'm just going to be I'm going to think about your hunt. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about your hunt. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and Frank, thank you, buddy. Okay.
All right.
We'll
Thanks for plugging it again.
Yep, and it's your turn next week, Frank. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ron. Thank you too, buddy, over there. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we're going to hit on one of Ron's favorite subjects and also one of our favorite guests. We're going to talk a little Major League Fishing with the one and only Shaw Grigsby.
Yep.
Right? Be right back.